All right, y'all. What's going on? Welcome back to another Jab podcast, episode 137. I'm Combo Breaker 99.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Boxing P.
Yeah, man. We back in the house, man. Boxing, man's coming back strong, man, but it's also coming back interesting, man. We got a fight coming up September 12th, man. It's an exhibition fight. It's a long time fight that I've been wanting to see, though, man. We finally get him in the ring. Roy Jones Jr., the Iron Mike Tyson, man. Long overdue. It's like an 8-round exhibition match, but you know, I think it's a match that a lot of people who are fans of Roy and Mike they want to see. You know, we got a few questions I want to ask you about it, P, and how you feel. But first up, man, what's been going on with you, man?
Not too much, man. Just trying to stay cool.
Yeah, it kind of went down a little bit out here. You know, it ain't too bad, but yeah, man, it's been hotter. It's been hotter. I like heat, man, but it's been hotter, man. But yeah, man, Roy and Mike, like I said, it was a fight that I've been wanting to see for a long time. But going into this one here, man, like I wanted to ask you, P, like how serious are you taking it, and how serious do you think fans should take this fight, man?
Um, well, I mean, honestly, Ant, like it surprised me that you said that this was a fight that you always wanted to see because I never even really thought about this fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know Roy went up to heavyweight, but I never really thought of him as a heavyweight. So I never even really put this fight together in my head. So that's why even when I posted it, I was like, I didn't see this coming, But when you think about the business side of it, I mean, what bigger names could you get from the '90s? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Really bring back that old crowd, and just bring some talk to the game. So, as a whole, it's interesting, man. I don't know what to make of it, man. We ain't never seen nothing like this, to be honest. Well, I haven't, so I don't really know what to make of it, man.
yeah,
People on both sides of the fence, the people I've been hearing talk about it or whatever. But I really don't know what to make of it, man. It's like new to me, so I'm just waiting to
yeah,
see if it actually falls through. I know they said they got contracts and stuff, but we hear fights all the time getting made and all this stuff. So, I'll be looking forward to seeing how the whole thing plays out, not just who wins. I mean, it ain't even really about that to me. It's these two men in their, 50s getting in there to compete. So, I don't know, man. Like I say, I honestly don't know what to make of it. I really don't, man.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, like I said, way back 2003. I wanted this fight, man, because like after Roy won that belt, he called Mike Tyson out. And even before that, like a few years ago, he used to call Mike out all the time. And so I was like, man, that would be an interesting style matchup. I thought that would be kind of interesting, because Roy got the speed and Mike was this dangerous animal. So they were like just two different styles. And they used to always talk about Roy being this pound for pound great, and he always wanted to test heavyweight. So I was like, what better heavyweight to fight, because I never saw Roy fighting like a Lennox Lewis or somebody that big, but like somebody on Mike, they were like on the same level where it was a nice matchup. And like you said, and like a lot of people say, like when we talked about who the most exciting fighters to watch, where everybody say either Roy or Mike. So putting them two together, that just make for a match. You know what I mean?
It's hands down, because it was a lot of names getting thrown in the hat, but the one that made the most sense and money probably was Roy Jones. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Um, it's just interesting that because
yeah.
like we know it's a lot of money on the table. Is it with headgear or is without headgear? I was hearing both sides of that. I wasn't sure.
At the moment, I think most recent I saw Roy in an interview. He said is no headgear. I think the gloves are supposed to be a little bit bigger. I don't know how many ounces, 16 or something like that, but no headgear at the moment. Because Roy was saying something like he made a good point about headgear, because he was saying like it makes your head a lot more prone to getting hit, even if you got the protective headgear on. If it's still grazing the headgear, you still feel it. It's still impact. So I was like, hey, I think people want to see without headgear anyway, don't you?
I mean, of course, the head takes something
Regardless.
on that same token that it is a level of worry here too. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could get hurt. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Older guy could get hurt. So even factoring that into the equation too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What you think about that?
Man, yeah, like regardless of the headgear, even if they do, like I still think like, we all know where kind of Roy stands now. Like when you bring that up, man, like a Mike Tyson punch at any age is still like more than anything Roy ever faced in his career. You know what I mean? Like even a 54-year-old Mike, that's a dangerous thing. And so I say, yeah, I think that headgear not is still dangerous, but like overall, how dangerous do you think this fight is, man? Like even at their age, like how dangerous? Who you think is more dangerous for?
I mean, you know, it's kind of the obvious. You know, people keep saying this is a dangerous fight, and it is a dangerous fight, but it's more dangerous for one person more than another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
For reasons that people know about. You know what I mean? Roy definitely been in a lot of rough fights in the tail end of his career. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I just don't know what to make of it, man. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
mean, think it's not like I want to see them go in there and try to kill each other because somebody gonna get hurt. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
yeah.
don't playing around, but
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what to make of it, to be honest, man.
That's what make it interesting too. Like for me, like I want to see them two like face off just because it's something I've been waiting for years. But like when they get in the ring, like, do I really want to see them take each other heads off at this point? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I can't say I do. Like when you put it in that perspective, and I was kind of like, I don't want to see them try to perform like they could have before because they could get hurt just trying to do that without hitting each other.
exactly. So I mean, hopefully, nothing like that happens, but it's definitely a possibility, eh? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you talk about Mike Tyson punch.
Yeah.
I mean, it only take one, you know. So I just like I said, I just don't know what to make of it, Ant, because like I mean, and when I say I've never seen like two older guys come out of retirement. I mean, Roy
Mm-hmm.
retired in 2018. Mike been out the game for like what 15 years,
Yeah.
and come back and do this, and get this type of buzz, Ant. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is major boxing talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Mike, him being out of the ring for the longest, that's why it kind of the spotlight's kind of more on Mike here. Like, do you think he really did find like some refound glory? I'm not glory, but flame, like that really make him want to return?
I mean, when I heard him say the gods of war have called upon him, I mean it's like a pit bull, and even the pit bull, even after he had, you broke him from fighting, he still like to fight every now and then. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
If the right match come along, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I do. He still got that itch. I mean, of course, he not only was he a boxer, but he was Mike Tyson. You feel me? So
Right, right.
he's been able to. I'm sure he hasn't filled that boxing void with anything yet. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
so always there, and now he in shape. I know it's there more than ever now. It's one thing when he was 400 pounds. You know what I mean? But now
Yeah.
he sees body and performing. He like yo. So I believe that it's a rejuvenated Mike Tyson. But that's the thing. I don't want to see a rejuvenated Mike Tyson go in there and try to kill Roy. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right, right. Yeah, because like I think when you think about it, Mike, he had a long time to just kind of rest, like you said, and like refine things. But Roy was here and there, spotty, maybe 9 months off, maybe a year off. But it was never like a long time where you could just kind of chill out and say I'm rejuvenated. It was like consistent, wars, consistent tough fights. So it was still kind of like, man, like Mike put himself in kind of a better position to come back and make it look, more so inspiring.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I never really looked at Roy's career in that way. But he didn't really take breaks like that. You know what I'm saying? Roy just was in there, and he slowed down over time, but he still was in there. And a guy like Mike just completely walked away. You know what I'm saying? For 15 odd years. So, the brain has time to heal, the body has time to heal. I mean, he was doing other stuff, abusing his body in other ways, but not.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like boxing, I don't think. Training camps, fights. You know what I'm saying? He mentally.
Yeah, that always abusing yourself mentally, because Mike, like he said, he used to have to go in like a dark place sometime with his fights, and sometimes crying before fights. And that kind of takes some wear and tear on the mind also, man. But something you brought up just then too, about never feeling that void for Mike Tyson. Like, so with that being said, for like fighters, no matter how old they get, should they always be allowed to kind of return to the ring to fight, man? Just because that is them, because that is their life. That's how they were born, and that's how they want to go out.
I mean, when you say, a person, signing the waiver saying whatever happened, happened.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's still just like I say, man. I mean, I would hate to see, a fighter that I'm a big fan of laying on the canvas, in bad shape. I think it's, they got a commission and, they got regulations for a reason. Now, I mean, you might have little sideshow spectacles, but to be on TV on a major platform like that, it could be, I don't know, it could be hard to swallow sometimes to see, think of a 60-year-old person, 55-year-old person taking, I don't know, I don't know. I just got to see this thing roll out, and then I'll be able to give you a better understanding of it right now. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
supermarket is money. They can do some big money at these guys, and they trying to secure that. So
yeah, because part of me want to say, all right, it's cool that y'all do what y'all want to do because y'all gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, if your own like trainer that's close to you, like a brother or your like wife or kids can't talk you out of it, ain't no fan gonna talk you out of it. So we just kind of gotta roll with it. But like, I guess in all honesty, like there does have to be a certain point that you do have to call it quits, even if you do love it. Even soldiers, like you can't stay in the military forever,
Yeah, how many Purple Hearts you got at the Wild Ant? You can't wear a pamper and be in you just, and that's just life. It comes to a point, but where you have to step back. And to me, the next best thing is teaching. If you're forced to step back, your brain still has the knowledge. You know what I mean? Body can't perform no more. So the next best thing that people do is start training or tutoring or mentoring, people when they get to that point. I think it's just a natural progression of the way things should go.
Yeah, because at that point, at least you got a chance to do. You already did. So why don't you let somebody else do it? That makes sense.
And you're super close to the sport, and I think you would get some gratification out of building a world champion. Who can say they did that, eh? I mean, that's, equivalent to like taking a nobody and turning him to a super rap star or something. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
the accomplishment in the boxing world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Do you?
And now for Floyd Mayweather, it might be a down, a big drop because he used to the spotlight. But for a guy who know that his skills ain't there to be in the spotlight no more, he should just be cool. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that because I was about to say that too, man. Like same thing with Floyd. Like, do you think they got the same issue where they more so want to be in the spotlight than they actually physically got the energy to fight now? You know what I mean? Like, do they want to just be seen? You think it's that high from being seen and being recognized that's covering up the fact that they got like, you know, they got like stiff legs now and they got like,
Stuff going on. Man, think about it, and you know when you think about people, Floyd Mayweather, he don't smoke, he don't drink. It's a lot of things. Super disciplined person, but everybody got something.
yeah,
One of his things probably is fame, attention. You don't forget he cried on national TV because he didn't get the accolades that he thought he deserved. You know what I'm saying? So you
yeah,
know what you saying what's important to him or something that really meant a lot to him. So you know, I mean, in his aspect, I think it could be that, which it could be very dangerous too. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Leading, you know, you could talk yourself in anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, other people, you know, I mean, you had to be special to be able to do something like that. And this is not just something the average person can do. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And like that's the thing. Like, you know, boxing is like it's a martial art, but it's entertainment too. And I think they still get tied up on the entertainment side where when people still watching their videos and like Mike, he doing a podcast and he everywhere except boxing, there comes a point when people kind of draw him back into it, making him think that I could win a fight or I could perform just off of the high. You know what I mean? Just off of the high of being Mike. Like he starts believing he's Mike. Like he starts believing in his own height.
Exactly, 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 exactly. Now, and think about this, and just help me understand this. Like, so, I mean, as far as I remember, that Roy and Mike Tyson were cordial. Like before this talk even came about. I don't remember no beefs. Now you said Roy did call him out back in the day. I wasn't really knowledgeable of that, but you know, I don't think it was no bad blood between them.
No, it wasn't. Like in his recent interview, he had talked about after that John Ruiz fight, he reached out to Jay Prince and like Jay Prince people, you know, they tried to get the money together to fight Mike and they called Mike and they said Mike at the time his head wasn't into boxing, so they just kind of let it go. But yeah, he said it wasn't like a call out thing, like he was mad at me. Like he said every time they seen each other, they was always, you know, cool.
So that's what I'm saying. The build up to this fight, we know that they friend is, you know what I'm saying. It's just gonna be very interesting for me, and just to see
Yeah.
what, you know what I mean. It's not like this is not like Carver and Roy Jones. You know, it's some beef there. You know what I mean. This is
Or even Hopkins, right?
yeah, or even
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You know, the DMX versus Snoop Dogg battle. That wasn't a winner. That was just an entertaining thing to watch. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. It was, yeah.
They wasn't going at each other next. They was just going song for song. So like even this is like, you know, I mean, I just don't know. You know, when you see Mike in the ring at 50, is he gonna go ahead? What is he gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? That Mike only know how to do one thing. Mike is not going to be on the bike for 12 rounds for
No.
8.
Yeah. That,
I think he can ride the bike for 8 rounds no more. You feel me? So
no. Like, and like I was telling you the other day, like looking at Roy, like we ain't gonna see like a guy moving for speed. You know what I mean? And that just spells danger, man. You thinking Mike's come forward style and Roy's no legs, and now you know more so just the hand speed. Like where you gonna go? You know?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. You know, I mean, obviously, of course, no doubt, hands down, I'm a huge fan of both guys. I'm not cheering for either guys. That's how bad the fight is, and you can't even really cheer for either guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who people are saying who they think is going to win, but people not saying who they really pulling for, you know, because you can't.
Yeah. Like people are saying like Mike is gonna win, but nobody's saying I want Mike to take his head off. You can't say that.
I'm not saying that. Because who's not a fan of both guys? It's not like both of them were at the same time, you know what I mean? Roy did his thing in his weight classes, and Mike was the heavyweight champion. Who wasn't a fan of those two guys in the 90s? So it's hard to even, for me to even process the damn fight, Ant. So, like I say, man, we should see. What is it, September?
Yeah, September 12th. Yeah.
12th. We'll see, man.
And real quick, couple more things I wanted to bring up to you because you made a good point on. I'll bring that last, but this point too, you know, George Foreman, he talked about it, and he was saying that because they asked him about Mike looking at how he looks in training, and you know, just like everybody else, you know, everybody was so, you know, they captivated by it. They see Mike throwing, you know, like he used to. But George, he made a good point. He was like, they only recording what you want him to see. He was like, how do you know Mike not getting out of bed, like, you know, pulled back, hurting? And like, what do you think, man? Like, you think Mike is feeling any of that?
Exactly. Come on, let's not get it twisted. Mike is still a 54-year-old man.
Yeah.
Do we see Mike doing some road work? Do we see Mike jumping rope? Okay, then. You know what I'm saying? There's no disrespect to him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What he's doing is still very impressive, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The man is a 54-year-old man. Of course, the stuff we seeing, that's the best clip of that day.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what it is. You know, and of course,
Mm-hmm.
might be getting a massage or feeling stiff in the morning. I mean, young people feel that. So that ain't no question that this is not the way it was for him 15 years ago.
Right. What he's still doing is looking better than a lot of young guys out here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
His 3 second clip is looking better than some full session.
It's enough to let you know it's dangerous. It's still danger there, because even the speed is kind of impressive to be out the ring for 15 years and to be a 54-year-old man. So
yeah, it's definitely
very interesting, the whole thing.
it's definitely enough for what he's going to bring to the table against Roy too. You know what I mean? Like that's why it's going down like an exhibition fight against another, you know, past his prime fighter. You know, you can't go in the exhibition with no 20-something-year-old 6'3" heavyweight now. Nah. But like I said, the message behind this whole fight was something you had brought up too, man, on your post, was that this fight is a good example to these champions today that a fight between two names can happen now, right? Like all these, and it's just
Go ahead.
And it's just an example of saying, okay, not only can it get done, it needs to get done while you're young.
That's kind of what I was going to piggyback on that. They said Roy Jones and Mike Tyson looked at each other and looked around and said, nobody else wants to fight. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Nobody else wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
None of these other champions, none of these other big names want to fight. So, all right, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I looked at it. Like, it took the old guys to just make it happen. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now, some of these guys are going to be sitting back a little salty because the talk is Roy and Mike Tyson right now. It's not nobody else. It's Roy and Mike.
Roy and Mike right now, man. It's Roy and Mike. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, they had all the opportunity in the world to step up and try to fight and try to make, but everybody was, you know, look how quick they made this happen. Like you said, eh? This wasn't no whole bunch of Mike don't want, Roy don't. No, they said, bam, done.
Yeah, because
still delivered.
Roy said whenever they was offered the fight, because Mike was looking for a fight, they asked Roy, do you want to do it? He's like, yeah. And then they both went on live and signed contracts. You know, that's how real it got.
You know, that's just showing them the way you do it. You know what I mean?
And Roy made the perfect statement behind the fight too, because they said, does it kind of feel bad that there's going to be no audience? He's like, no, we doing this because fans can't come out to see fights. He's like, that's why we putting this show on for them, because they can't come out to see fights. So I think that's a good point to, shut down all excuses like, oh, I can't do a fight because no live gate. You know what I mean? Like that. Fighters now should be working their hardest to build more fans. You know what I mean? By saying they willing to fight without a crowd.
Absolutely. Like I said, once again, that the older guys are schooling these young guys how to do it. Like, we doing this to entertain the fans because we know that y'all can't come out. You know what I mean? It's they looking at it like, yo, it's a knock to them. It's a knock to us. Some of us who saving up our paychecks to come, we can't do that no more.
Yeah.
But we can't even come if we want to come. And lost jobs and all the other stuff that's going on in the world. So, the fact that they looking at it from that perspective again, that yo, we giving back to the fans. You know what I'm saying? Something that, entertain. We know we was two big names and it'll bring a lot of attention. At the end of the day, ain't they making money? Ain't like it's gonna be for free. You know what I mean? But it's still for the, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, still making something.
Yeah, fighters acting like we saying come fight for free. No, y'all still gonna get a nice check.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, that window, is closing on some of those guys. So.
Yeah, that's why I say, like, when they see this now, instead of trying to say, oh, these two guys are too old to fight, they need to be saying, man, like, I need to take on so and so before we get that old. You know what I mean? Like you said, that was a good point. That's what I said. Yeah, like, that's how you got to look at this one, because I think when it all comes down to it, they can say it's the promoter this, but if you want a fight, you'll get it. I think anytime a fighter really want, they'll get it.
And even from a marketing standpoint, just think. I mean, Dana is doing really, really good right now because he's one of the few things.
Yeah.
So the two biggest boxers in boxing right now, present, two biggest names. Boy, that would be huge because there's no boxing on. You know what I'm saying? We down for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what we've been waiting to see. You feel me? It's to jump out the window and do something like that right now because it is no competition.
Yeah.
So, I hope the young guys are really paying attention, man.
For real, man. But yeah, it's going now September 12th. Like I said, I might go back and talk a little bit more about it at some point. But before we go real quick, P, like, boxing is like really coming back this weekend and next month with some PBC cards. I just want to ask you real quick, do you think these fights that are coming back, some of them are pay-per-view, but do you think some of them should be pay-per-view or just televised?
I mean, of course, I think they should just be televised. But flip side, I anticipated this happening, because they were selling us pay-per-views. It wasn't pay-per-view worthy before, but now losing that gate, I know they're going to be trying to push some stuff on instead. Right. So we kind of situation that we desperate for some good fights. We ain't entertained no other way, so we kind of got our hands tied right now, man. And
they want us to meet halfway in the middle, right?
They definitely now. Yeah, I mean they should be HBO fights. I wouldn't say totally free, but like not HBO, but a network. Fights, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. Like just a regular network televised fights, you mean, or you talking about?
Yeah, because you got the Charlos and even the Tank fight. I mean, like an HBO Showtime type of platform, at least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, they're on Showtimes. Yeah, or pay. I think no, they're both pay-per-view.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like it, and the way it should be is they just if you had Showtime or HBO fights, you know what I'm saying?
Just pay for Showtime. I got you, so you can see those. Yeah.
But the time we living in now, I know they trying to get everything, you know, but I don't think they in the normal time they not pay-per-view fight. They not pay-per-view fights yet.
Oh no, no, yeah, they have to do that now. I know what you mean. Yeah, to get that to make up for that live gate. I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but yeah, man. Like I said, that's pretty much all we got on this one, man. You know, that's my thoughts on Mike and Roy for now. But what's your closing thoughts, P?
Yeah, man. Like I say, and I'm just waiting to see how this all plays out. But I do want to send my condolences out to brother Nazim and his family, man, who passed away. Um, that was like a shocker to me, and a guy who really stood out in the sport, from the trainer aspect, and the guy who put Margarito with those, loaded hand wraps as well. So we lost a great trainer, man, and brother Nazim.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely rest in peace, Nazim. Like you said, not just a trainer, but he seemed, like a real mentor to a lot of fighters. Just looking how he worked the corner, catching things like that. He really cared about his fighters, and did a lot for B Hop after after the absence of his other trainer. He kind of picked up and helped him out a lot, man. So yeah, rest in peace, man. But before we bounce, P, where can we follow you at, man?
Y'all can catch me on IG at p.barnhill, and y'all can also catch me on IG at JABsquad.
All right, you can follow me on Instagram, all box and everything, and Combo Breaker 99, and you can subscribe to us both. Follow us both on the Jab Effect on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and SoundCloud. You getting some more subscribers, man. It's cool. Getting more listeners there, man.
Cool. We appreciate it, definitely.
Yeah, man. But yeah, like always, I'm Combo Breaker 99.
AP.
And we out, y'all. Later.